House comes to questions for oral answer. Question number 1 in the name of Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Does he stand by all his statements after almost 7 years as Prime Minister?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, yes, I particularly stand by the statement I made when the member became the leader of the Labor Party, when I said, gosh, if they keep changing Labor leaders at this rate, we'll have to ask them to start wearing...
Order. I can sense that... Order. I can sense by looking at the questions this question time is going to be quite different to others. I will still do my best to maintain a level of decorum from all members, and if it requires me to ask members to leave the chamber, I will not hesitate to do so. Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. When he said we are on, quotes, the cusp of something special, end quotes, was that something special 50,000 more Kiwis unemployed today than when he came to office?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, the cusp of something special was, amongst other things, 199,000 jobs created since 2011, a lift in the average wage of more than $10,000 a year, Mr Speaker, a turning around of the government's books, the 11 straight quarters of growth and the 18 quarters of economic growth, Mr Speaker.
Order. I've heard.
360 degrees.
And I just warn there's quite a large barrage coming from particular supplementary question, the Honourable Bill.
Can the Prime Minister confirm that in 7 years of being Prime Minister, he's never really been asked a hard question and it's unlikely to start today?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, no, I can't be confirmed that. That's the best question I've had in the 7 years I've been Prime Minister.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Why, after 7 years in power, does he keep promising lower unemployment is over the horizon, but keep delivering increasing unemployment instead?
Order.
Well, Mr Speaker,
Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, because this is a government that's seen 18 straight quarters of economic growth, Mr Speaker. It's a government that's got a record number of people into apprenticeships. It's a government that has seen the books put back in order, Mr Speaker. And interestingly enough, this is now the 5th straight month in a row.
Point of order. A point of order has been raised by Andrew.
Mr Speaker, the question was very well focused and totally straight on the question of unemployment. We've had a lot of other statistics and information given by the Prime Minister, but he has not addressed the question.
Order. No, I don't. No, I'm on my feet. The question clearly was around unemployment, and the Prime Minister started his answer by talking about 18 quarters of economic growth. That, in effect, does address an issue of unemployment. But the answer was certainly going on longer than it needed to, and in future answers should be more concise and addressed to the question. Supplementary question. Order.
Mr Speaker.
No connection between growth.
Order. Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Given economic growth this year has been less than half what was forecast in the budget, and First New Zealand Capital has said there's a 30% chance of a recession, what steps is he taking to prepare New Zealand for a recession?
Good question.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Mr Speaker, I'm glad the member asked that question, because having inherited a mess of a set of accounts from Labor over the last 7 years, we've turned the books around, Mr Speaker, and I'm pretty confident we'll be getting pretty close to a surplus.
Nothing being done.
Point of order, the Honourable Jerry Brown.
Mr Speaker, there was so much barracking coming from the other side of the House that sitting next to the Prime Minister, I was unable to hear his answer. I think he should be able to give it again.
Order. No. There was a huge level of interjection. I accept that, but I managed to hear the answer. That's the important thing. Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
After 7 years, why is he in denial of the obvious facts? Unemployment is rising and the economy is stalling. Is it because he didn't see it coming, or he's got nothing to do or say about it?
You're right, Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the economy's grown for 18 quarters in a row. There are more people in employment in New Zealand than ever before, and when it comes to not seeing things coming, I suggest that the member be careful, because Jacinda Ardern's coming for his job to be made.
Order.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Why is he devoting so much effort and taxpayer money to failing flag referendums and chasing fluffy pandas when he should be putting that effort into our stalling economy and creating more jobs?
Well, Mr. Speaker,
Right, Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we have put more money into health and education than ever in the history of this country. And, Mr. Speaker, what a remarkable set of results we have achieved by doing that. Just to give you an example, Mr. Speaker, in 2008, 68% of people got NCEA level 2, Mr. Speaker. Today, 81.2%. Māori achievement, Mr. Speaker, up from 44.5% to nearly 68%, Mr. Speaker.
Order. The Prime Minister said he'd give one example. I accepted one example. Question number 2. Bon